How to master the cowboy confidence and charm. Hey there, partners! Have you ever wondered what makes John Wayne and the classic cowboy heroes so irresistibly cool? Whether it's their calm under pressure, effortless confidence, or their ability to face danger without breaking a sweat, there's something about that cowboy attitude that still captivates us today. In this video, we're going to break down how to channel the classic cowboy energy, from body language and humor to self-reliance and stoic confidence. If you want to walk, talk, and act like a cowboy, or even channel that John Wayne coolness, stick around, because we're about to dive deep into the mindset and habits that will take you from everyday to legendary. I asked ChatGPT what the cool cowboy vibe is all about. Let's get started. So ChatGPT, how do I embody the cool cowboy vibe like John Wayne and others do so well?
I love this. Getting into the cool cowboy vibe like Dean Martin in his Western roles or John Wayne requires more than just physical presence. It's about embodying that quiet confidence, laid-back attitude, and rugged charisma. A visualization practice will help you tap into that cowboy cool that they exuded, whether it's in their relaxed demeanor, authoritative tone, or effortless swagger. I'll take you through a short visualization exercise to start feeling like a cowboy, and then we'll go deeper into it. Here's a step-by-step visualization to channel a cool cowboy like Dean Martin or John Wayne. Step 1. Clear your mind and focus. We'll start by calming your mind and preparing yourself mentally. Cowboy coolness isn't about rushing, it's about having presence and being comfortable in your own skin. Breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 2 seconds, and exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 seconds. Do this for 3 to 5 rounds to center yourself. Let go of tension. As you breathe out, imagine releasing any stress or worries. Cowboys are always calm in the face of challenges. Visualize that calmness settling into your body. Step 2. Visualize your physical stance. The first thing you'll notice about a cowboy like Dean Martin or John Wayne is their body language. It's not stiff or overly formal. It's relaxed yet confident. Picture yourself standing tall with a natural, confident stance. Imagine standing tall. Stand with your feet shoulder-width apart. Feel the weight of your body grounded in the earth beneath you, like you're standing strong in the Wild West, ready for anything. Relaxed shoulders. Keep your shoulders back, but not stiff. Cowboys don't have to force their presence, they just let it happen. Let your shoulders be broad and relaxed, allowing the natural strength of your body to show without tension. Tilt your head slightly. Imagine slightly tilting your head down and to the side, giving you a calm, contemplative look. This relaxed but alert posture is key to that classic cowboy coolness. Step 3. Imagine the cowboy's walk. A cowboy walks with purpose but without haste. Their movement is measured, confident, and controlled yet smooth. Visualize the walk. Picture yourself walking slowly across a dusty street in a small western town. The sound of boots on the dirt road echoes lightly. Your steps are deliberate, but there's no rush. You're always in control, always observing, never hurrying. Slow down your movements. Now practice this slow and steady walk, each step grounded and confident. Your body moves naturally and fluidly, exuding confidence but without showing off. Stay loose and comfortable. While you walk, let your arms hang loosely by your sides. You're not trying to impress anyone, you're just being yourself, cool and comfortable in your own skin. Step 4. Visualize the cowboy facial expression. Cowboys like Dean Martin and John Wayne had signature facial expressions. They were often stoic and calm, but their expressions could shift to show deep thought, seriousness, or a hint of a smile at the right moment. The key is being reserved yet present. Neutral expression. Visualize your face relaxing into a neutral, calm expression. There's no need to smile all the time. Instead, think of the subtle smirk or half grin that comes through when you know you're in control. Eyes focused. Cowboys often had a far-off, steady gaze. Picture yourself gazing into the distance, scanning your surroundings with confidence. The eyes are always steady, focused, but calm. Minimal movement. Your face doesn't move much, but when it does, it's deliberate. Let your facial muscles remain relaxed, but imagine a slight, knowing expression, a little grin or squint, just enough to suggest a sense of mystery and self-assuredness. Step 5. Focus on your voice and tone. One of the most iconic aspects of the cowboy vibe is the voice. Cowboys like Dean Martin and John Wayne spoke slowly and deliberately, with a tone that conveyed both authority and calm assurance. Their voices were deep, but not overly forceful. They spoke like they were in control of every word they said. Imagine speaking slowly. Picture yourself speaking, but at a slow pace. Each word is chosen carefully, and you speak with deliberate intention. You don't rush to fill silences. Those silences are part of your power. Visualize the deep, controlled tone. Feel the warmth of your voice coming from your chest. The sound is rich and resonant, yet understated. Imagine your voice dropping to a low register, but not in an attempt to sound tough, just naturally calm, deep, and confident. Pause with authority. Picture yourself speaking in a sentence that's deliberate and pauses at the right moments. There's power in your silence, and you know that waiting just a beat before responding adds to your strength. Step 6. Embody the cowboy coolness. Cowboys like Dean Martin or John Wayne never had to try hard to be cool. The key is to tap into that confidence and relaxed demeanor that defines them. Embody the attitude. Imagine that you are the center of the room, but there's no need to show off. You're unruffled no matter what comes your way. Whether it's a quick draw, a storm brewing, or a bar fight breaking out, you stay calm, cool, and collected, unfazed by external pressures. Picture yourself in a stressful situation, perhaps in the middle of a showdown or a heated conversation, and stay calm. Your body is relaxed, your face is neutral, and your tone remains steady. Humor and charm. While staying stoic, also picture that sly sense of humor or charm that can cut through a tense situation. Think of Dean Martin's ability to bring warmth and a sense of fun to his roles, his casual, laid-back smile that makes you feel at ease. Step 7. Visualize the cowboy's clothing and props. Part of channeling the cowboy persona is also embodying the look. Cowboys like Dean Martin and John Wayne often wore classic attire that exuded rugged charm and readiness. Visualize the cowboy gear. Picture yourself in well-worn boots, a Stetson hat tipped slightly forward, and a leather jacket or vest. You can feel the texture of the fabric and the weight of the hat resting on your head. The boots are sturdy and worn in, signaling you've been through many adventures. Imagine the tools of the trade. Think about a holster on your hip or a lasso resting in your hand. These are symbols of your ability to handle tough situations, but also part of your calm demeanor. You don't need to prove anything by carrying them around. They're just a part of you. Visualize yourself in action. Picture yourself walking into a saloon or riding across the open plains with these items on your body. Everything feels natural, comfortable, and steady. Step 8. Step into the cowboy role. Now that you've visualized the posture, walk, facial expression, voice, attitude, and look, step into the role. Feel the confidence. Walk into the space as if you're fully embodying the cowboy persona. You don't need to perform, just be that confident, cool figure in any situation. Whether you're sitting at the bar or talking with someone, hold that steady, calm presence. Take a deep breath. Finally, take a breath and embrace the role. Let it feel natural, effortless, and cool. Imagine yourself fully living the moment, just like Dean Martin in Rio Bravo or John Wayne in The Searchers. Nothing phases you, you're always in control, and you're ready for whatever comes next. Recap of the visualization process. 1. Clear your mind. Calm yourself with deep breaths. 2. Visualize your physical posture. Stand tall, relaxed, with a confident yet laid-back stance. 3. Imagine the cowboy walk. Slow, deliberate movements with purpose but no rush. 4. Visualize your facial expression. Neutral but full of confidence with a touch of charm. 5. Focus on your voice. Speak slowly, deeply, and with authority. 6. Embody the cowboy coolness. Stay calm and unbothered by external pressures. 7. Visualize your cowboy gear. Feel the weight of your clothing and gear, grounding you in the role. 8. Step into the role. Move through the space as if you are that confident cowboy ready for anything. By using these visualization techniques regularly, you'll be able to tap into that cool, calm, and collected cowboy energy whenever you need it, just like Dean Martin or John Wayne.
Great. But I always have a slightly hard time getting into the head of these cowboys to imitate them. Their attitude must have been the result of the kind of lives they lived. What went on in their head? Why did they act the way they did? In order for me to understand their attitude better,
You're absolutely right to point out that the attitude of cowboys like Dean Martin's roles in films or John Wayne's iconic characters wasn't just some act. It was a reflection of the tough, unpredictable, and rugged lives they lived. Their attitudes were shaped by circumstances, life experiences, and values that allowed them to navigate the harsh realities of their environments with a mix of stoicism, confidence, and self-reliance. Let's break down why these characters acted the way they did and what might have been going on in their heads to embody that signature cowboy cool attitude. 1. Survival and self-reliance. At the heart of the cowboy persona is self-reliance. Cowboys often lived in remote, hostile environments where relying on themselves was often the only option. Their lives were marked by unpredictable weather, difficult terrain, dangerous animals, and sometimes even lawlessness or violence. The world was tough, and they had to be tougher. What's in their head? They thought in terms of survival. I need to take care of myself, and I don't need anyone's help to do it. Whether it was fixing a broken fence, handling a herd of cattle, or protecting their livelihood from criminals, the cowboy mindset was always resourceful. This leads to a quiet confidence. They're used to making decisions on their own without waiting for others to act. The Code of the West. A key element of cowboy culture was the unwritten code of honor. This code emphasized qualities like honesty, integrity, respect, and personal responsibility. Cowboys lived by a strict sense of duty to themselves, their companions, and their land. These codes were often handed down from earlier generations, and they became the backbone of the cowboys' actions, providing a sense of order and meaning in a chaotic world. What's in their head? They're often driven by an internal sense of right and wrong. I live by my word and I don't break promises. I deal with problems head on. There was a strong emphasis on personal responsibility, whether it was facing down a challenge or standing up to someone who broke the code. A cowboy's reputation was everything, and they often lived with the quiet knowledge that their word was their bond. Another key part of the cowboy attitude is in facing hardship with stoicism. Life for cowboys often involved dealing with things like droughts, extreme temperatures, and loneliness. Even when things were at their worst, cowboys had to push forward. Their resilience was reflected in a stoic mindset, accepting the harshness of the world around them and responding without complaint. What's in their head? I'm here to get the job done, no matter how hard it is. A cowboy was conditioned to see hardship as just a part of life, not something to dwell on. Complaining or showing weakness was seen as unmanly, so they didn't let their emotions interfere with their goals. Stoicism was a key part of their psyche. They didn't dwell on things outside of their control, but instead they focused on what was directly in front of them. Solitude and reflection. Cowboys spent much of their time in solitude. Whether working on a cattle drive, riding across the plains, or camped out alone under the stars, they had time to reflect. This solitude created an introspective, contemplative personality. Their decisions were often made in the silence of the night, and many of their actions were driven by a quiet certainty about the world. What's in their head? I have to rely on my instincts and intuition, because there's no one else out here. Being alone with their thoughts for extended periods led to a certain mental clarity. They could weigh a situation carefully and act without second-guessing themselves. In a way, this gave them an air of calm because they were so accustomed to making decisions alone. A certain toughness mixed with compassion. Cowboys were tough, but they weren't without compassion. Many of them came from modest or poor backgrounds, and their rough exteriors were often balanced by a heartfelt concern for those they loved or the community they served. They were willing to fight when needed, but they also knew how to show mercy. What's in their head? I'll protect the ones I care about, but I'll do it in my own way without unnecessary violence. They were familiar with the human condition, the suffering of others, the struggle to survive, and the need for camaraderie. Their toughness was often a result of experience, but their capacity for compassion stemmed from understanding life's fragility. Living with a sense of adventure. Cowboys didn't just endure, they explored and lived with a sense of adventure. The Wild West was full of unknowns, and a cowboy embraced that uncertainty. They were willing to face danger and take risks, whether it was in a gunfight, a cattle stampede, or a journey into unknown territory. What's in their head? I'm here to make my own destiny, and nothing's going to stop me. The cowboy spirit is about embracing the unknown, taking risks, and acting boldly. For cowboys like Dean Martin's characters or John Wayne's roles, there was always the thrill of living life on their own terms, no matter the dangers. A quiet confidence. Perhaps the most defining trait of the cowboy attitude was their quiet confidence. Cowboys didn't feel the need to assert their dominance loudly. They let their actions speak for themselves. This is why their attitude often came off as cool or unshakable. It wasn't arrogance, it was a deep understanding of their own abilities and the world around them. What's in their head? I know what I'm capable of, and I don't need to prove it to anyone. Cowboys like Dean Martin and John Wayne exuded confidence through their steady, measured actions and their ability to remain calm under pressure. This was a mindset honed by years of handling difficult situations, whether in combat, the wilderness, or the unpredictability of life. Bringing it all together. To understand the attitude of characters like Dean Martin's Cowboy or John Wayne, it's important to recognize that their confidence and composure stemmed from a combination of their harsh, self-sufficient lives and a deep personal code that guided their every action. They lived by a set of unspoken rules that focused on honor, self-reliance, stoicism, and adventure, all while keeping a sense of calm, compassion, and authority. In your head, you can start to channel this by thinking, I've been through worse. I've faced bigger challenges and come out stronger. My word is my bond and I won't break it. I don't rush. I know what needs to be done and I'll do it when the time is right. I can face danger, but I don't need to show off to prove my strength. There's wisdom in silence. I'll speak when I need to, and I'll do it with purpose. Life's a journey, and I'm here to make the most of it, no matter what. This mindset is deeply rooted in lived experience and is key to understanding and replicating that calm, cool cowboy vibe. It's not just a facade, it's a way of living, accepting challenges without losing your calm, maintaining your integrity, and never letting the chaos of the world shake you. Final tip. As you practice embodying this cowboy confidence, focus on their internal sense of peace, as they knew what it meant to live authentically, face adversity head-on, and maintain a sense of integrity throughout it all. Once you tap into these inner elements, you'll be able to replicate that cool, calm, and collected cowboy aura more naturally.
This is really accurate and really helps. You said cowboys were tough, but they weren't without compassion. Many of them came from modest or poor backgrounds, and their rough exteriors were often balanced by a heartfelt concern for those they loved or the community they served. They were willing to fight when needed, but they also knew how to show mercy, which I think is true. But they didn't show their emotions much through body language, more through actions, right? So was their body language without emotion? And what about their humor?
Yes, you're spot on. Cowboys, especially the iconic figures like Dean Martin in his Western roles or John Wayne, rarely displayed their emotions openly through body language. Their strength was often quiet. They didn't need to show or perform their feelings because their actions spoke louder than words. But that doesn't mean they were emotionless. It was simply that their emotions were often contained, controlled, and expressed through deeds rather than dramatic gestures or facial expressions. Let's break it down. Body language and emotions. Cowboys didn't rely on exaggerated physical expressions to convey emotions. They knew how to keep their emotions contained and didn't show vulnerability in obvious ways. Their body language was usually stoic or neutral, reflecting that inner control and self-discipline they had developed through tough lives. But their physicality could still convey a lot, even without flashy or overt gestures. Key aspects of cowboy body language. Minimalism. A cowboy's body language was efficient and purposeful. Every movement was often deliberate and never wasteful. You won't see dramatic movements unless absolutely necessary. Even their hand gestures were understated. If they pointed, it was clear and to the point. Posture. The classic cowboy stance was one of self-assurance, standing or sitting with a relaxed but erect posture. They projected confidence through stillness rather than an active show of emotion. They don't slouch, but they're not overly rigid either. They have a subtle strength that radiates naturally. Facial expressions. Their faces often remained unreadable, or at best they might show a slight, knowing smirk or a furrowed brow if they were deep in thought. This was about inner control, showing just enough emotion to convey that they were aware, but not giving too much away. Eyes. While their faces stayed mostly neutral, their eyes could speak volumes. The cowboy gaze, that steady, direct stare, was a way of showing both confidence and depth. They might not smile much, but their eyes would communicate whether they were appraising a situation, sizing someone up, or offering a moment of empathy. The eyes were often the most expressive part of the cowboy body language. How cowboys expressed emotion through actions. Actions over words. In a tough world, a cowboy's emotions came through in how they acted, not how they spoke or gestured. They would protect those they loved or stand by their principles without needing to say much. For instance, if a cowboy was protecting someone, his calm actions, stepping in without hesitation or fighting to defend others, would communicate his care far more powerfully than any words could. Helping others, cowboys could show compassion by silently lending a hand to someone in need, offering food to the hungry, or giving aid to those injured. These subtle acts of kindness showed their heart, even if they didn't say anything about it. Showing mercy, cowboys like Dean Martin's characters often found themselves in tough situations where they could fight or let things escalate, but they might show mercy instead. They didn't need to express their emotions verbally. Instead, giving someone a second chance or making the choice to walk away conveyed their sense of honor and compassion. Although cowboys kept their emotions under control, they were not without humor. In fact, humor was one of the key tools that helped them cope with the harshness of their lives. Their humor was often dry, sarcastic, and understated. It wasn't about loud jokes or flashy punchlines. It was more about having a sharp wit and finding the humor in tough situations. Characteristics of cowboy humor. It's dry and subtle. Cowboys had a way of using humor as a tool for release, but it was always in a very understated way. A joke might be delivered in a low voice or with a deadpan expression, which made it even more effective. They weren't looking for laughs. They were more interested in making an ironic statement or observing the absurdity of a situation. Humor as a defense mechanism. Life was hard, and humor could help break tension or deal with the hardships they faced. It could also serve as a way of asserting control or taking the edge off a situation. Cowboys, like John Wayne's characters, often used humor to lighten the mood, even when the stakes were high. It was a way to stay cool and maintain a certain level of distance from the danger or intensity of life. Irony and sarcasm. Cowboys had a knack for irony, making a sharp remark that could easily go over someone's head. They didn't need to be loud or boisterous. For example, a cowboy might say something like, "Guess that's just what we need," when a bad situation occurred, because to them, life's challenges were so predictable that there was a certain humor in it. Playful teasing. While the cowboy attitude could be serious and self-contained, there was still room for playful banter. Cowboys often engaged in teasing or friendly challenges, especially with people they knew well. There was an edge to it, but it was never malicious. It was just a way of showing camaraderie. Emotional expression. Through actions, not body language. Since cowboys were so accustomed to dealing with life's challenges, they didn't need to show emotion outwardly in the same way others might. Instead, they communicated emotions through action, and that was the primary way they expressed their inner world, through their actions. A cowboy might save someone in danger or walk away from a fight rather than escalate it. This was their emotional expression. The world didn't require emotional displays. Instead, it demanded decisive action that spoke louder than any words or gestures could. In relationships, even in the context of relationships, cowboys were often reserved, but there was a deep sense of loyalty and love. They might not say "I love you" every day, but their devotion would be shown in what they did. Whether that meant protecting their loved ones, helping others, or standing firm in tough situations, love, for them, was in the acts of service, not in flowery words. So to wrap up body language, cowboys kept their emotions mostly contained, and their body language was minimal and understated. It wasn't that they were emotionless, it was more about controlling and channeling their emotions in a way that was always practical and direct. Their confidence came from their inner strength and the quiet awareness of their abilities, not from gestures or expressions. Cowboy humor was dry, ironic, and subtle. It was often used as a way to deal with hardship, lighten the mood, or make a sharp observation. Their humor wasn't meant to entertain everyone. It was meant to connect with others, sometimes in ways that only those who shared similar experiences would understand. By embodying the quiet confidence, understated humor, and actions over words mindset, you can channel that cowboy attitude, both in the way you present yourself and in how you express your emotions. The cowboy's way is a reminder that what you do often speaks louder than what you say, and how you carry yourself in tough situations shows your true strength.
So, now you've got all the tools to start walking like a cowboy and owning that John Wayne level coolness. Remember, it's all about confidence, action over words, and staying calm no matter the storm. Watch the first section of this video at least once a day for a week, do the visualization technique, and you'll be walking with that unbeatable cowboy swag and attitude in no time. Remember what John Wayne said: talk low, talk slow, and don't say too much. Start small. Focus on your body language, use that dry humor, and most importantly, let your actions speak louder than anything you say. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on how to live life with a little more swagger, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more videos just like this. And hey, let me know in the comments, what cowboy trait do you think is the hardest to master? I'll see you in the next one, partner. Until then, keep walking tall.